The words we don't talk about Bruno is probably the best way to describe my life.
Seems a lot easier that way than the way I was going about it.
Okay.
And so last time I did it for back, it was
So hi.
That's par for the course. That's what happens to me. But yeah, no matter what gender you're shaving that ass, it's going to itchy.
I love my life.
Some use lotion.
Okay. Let me
If I figure out a way
do.
where it's not itchy, I'll let you know. But my experience so far, even with I mean, we're out of it right now, but even with the shaver that we get from Dollar Shave Club, it makes,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people got the notification. Let me connect to my Discord.
but it doesn't do anything for the edge when it starts growing.
Yeah.
Do.
Maybe, but maybe put lotion on it daily. Maybe not.
Oh.
I don't know if it's like shaving.
Oh, I didn't know bottle kind of lining up with the hole, so the smoke is just kind of sucking around it.
Okay, that's about as best as a hey bitches, this is what I'm doing. So yeah, I decided to go live, and as you can see, I'm half working on something. So I tried to make an umbrella, but I didn't put enough resin and it did not pull on top. So this is a lesson of I probably need a curing light, but I would need money to do that first. So but there's ways to fix this one. It's very easy. I just need to put it on a flat surface and add a little bit of resin to that and patch the hole. Though I may have to redo the handle because it didn't cure right. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be hard, not soft like a guy who doesn't know how to get it up. I know it's yeah, I will have to redo the handle, which is fine. But I also have another idea for this. And before anyone asks, my dog is behind me in the cone of shame, crying. Yes, Cerberus. You gotta go outside. So he has an eye infection, so he's on medication. But as you can see, he's been coned of shamed. I love you, baby. You have food in your bowl. You are fine. You are not dying. You're not getting any more peanut butter treats right now. So, the main reason for this. So, I was going to show off what I've done. So, the first set of runes I did with the resin that was supposed to be glow in the dark, but has been sitting too long. So, of course, the glow in the dark isn't working for it. So, they're actually clear with gold makeup luster dust in them. And I painted in the black for the, so you could actually see the runes. They all have a different pattern for the gold. Not one of them are the same. So this is my first set. I call them gold dust. So those will be one of the ones that you can buy. So yes, these are stuff that I'm going to sell. I'm taking orders for them either in Discord or Patreon until I get an Etsy or something set up. And I will do custom sets and whatnot because no one set is ever going to be like the other. These are the latest I did. The blank one. I put a charm in it, and if you notice, there's actually blue dye in it. So some of them will have blue dye with gold. Like this one has purple dye in it. And then Where is this one actually has green in it. So I made a set with purple, blue, and green intermixed with just the resin to make just kind of like the clouded, fun, cool mystical color look. And I did put glitter in there. I did put some of the gold, copper, and silver sheet stuff in there. So some of them, like this one of my favorites, has a lot of copper just right there. It also has the green in it. So I mean, they all turned out really cool in this batch. These are pretty much starry clouds. Hi, Zephyr. Just showing off the runes I've made. And I have pictures of these posted on Discord as well. So the last set that I did, this is kind of the latest-ish. It's pretty much like this light mint forest green with glitter. And if you notice with all of them, I've been doing it with black paint inside of them to pop out the rune itself. So these aren't perfect because you can tell, like on this one, completely flat, a little bit edge on the back. This one's puffed up. That means it had more resin in it and set better. I'm still learning and I don't have a sander. So my sander's been on this. So I just been taking out the sharp edges, but for the most part, leaving them as is because I think every set of rune doesn't have to be perfect. I think they need to be flawed in their own special way because that's just how they're supposed to be. So right now I have 3 sets that are actually ready to go. So with the clouded set, the mint green, that's what I'm going to call those, and then the gold luster dust. So yeah, these are first 3 sets that I've done. I do plan on doing more. So yay. Yeah, you can easily buy this. And yes, I do need to clean it. Yes, I do need to powder it. You can buy actually this on Amazon for fairly cheap. Just be careful of the resin you get because one of the resins I got, ended up getting stuck on here and not coming off. Nice. I need to. I thought about making pottery, though the moment I had no money to get things I need. Yeah, I didn't have the money either, and then I remember for some reason Amazon gave me a credit card, so I'm paying that up again. But this is also something me and Soren both wanted to do. Soren got the idea to do it first, so we just never did it. And then I said, screw it, we need to do something on the side because somebody's not working as much as they used to. And sometimes I need a hobby too. At first, I was just going to make candles. I still plan to do candles. They'll just pretty much be like the side add-on. I got bored, did that one resin cast of this guy, and I got bored and painted him when I was working one day. What happens when there's low calls? I paint things. So Owlie is colorful now. And this is the owl Soren made. Hootie. So Soren's doing it too. I made a couple random ribbons just because I could. And yes, that's Josh in the background. I was playing around with a little bit of. So I made a little galaxy cube. It's just some of the charms that we got put in here. So random paperweights, basically. So I made a shooting star one. And this one has some flowers in it. Mostly if you're looking back, you can see the lavender. So we're obviously still working and trying to figure out different things to do with them. So resin stuff is being fun because we even got the molds to do things like planchettes. Yes, I do need to get glue so I can glue the actual thing inside of it. Right now, it just works well as a magnifier. Example. Yeah, and this is all made out of resin, and painted in a bit. Something I would find fun. Wood carving is actually really fun if you get into it and you realize you're gonna cut the daylights out of yourself a few hundred times. I cut it a few times, and even edging stuff for runes and for resin molds. I cut the crap out of myself with this. Yes, my dear. That would be Soren saying hello. The other planchette. It's a kitty one. The same thing goes with the inside. It is not glued in.
You should tell them the thing that we've learned that you really
Um,
need curing space.
Yeah, that is a big thing. If you're going to work with resin or anything, you're going to need a space where you can cure things. So it has to be around the temperature of 75 to 78. What we're going to get for now is we're going to get an aquarium and put a reptile heating pad and keep it at 78. And use that because the resin that we did get is a 24-hour resin, and so it takes 24 hours to set. The problem with that is like I showed with the Bindi umbrella handle, things don't always cure if the temperature isn't sitting just right for that particular mold.
Oh, and Josh showed me a
And one thing that we want to get is almost a curing box, I want to call it.
what Josh showed me is a thing you can get that will control the temperature inside.
It pretty much a temperature controlled container. Another thing we will need to get is a curing light so that we can do quick cures, so that we can do kind of layered things a little bit better. And so we can get like the glitter sinks all the way to the bottom along with everything else. So if you want something floating in the middle, you need to pour half of it, let it cure, and then put it on top of that, then let it cure and pour more and let that cure in order to get it to have that way.
It has resin stuff on it.
Toss it then.
Can we use it for something?
Yeah, we probably could. Probably for resin holding, for drying. So other things that Soren has made as well. This is a kitty wall hanger. I think it's the most adorable thing in the whole damn world. I actually like how they did the dye. They just did this a regular resin, and then they put in the color molds and they played around with it. On the back, you can see it too. But I like it because it looks like a black vein going from the cat to the moon. Another one of the things that they did was also a wolf version of that. I like this one the best because I mean, he's a wolfie. Granted, it got some cat hair on it because our cat likes to lay on our stuff. Persephone and Freya. But this one turned out pretty cool. They have another one that didn't quite cure correctly, so it's like wobbly and bendy, and yeah. So it doesn't matter what kind of resin you get, you always run the chance of it not curing correctly. Let's see, in one of the, I do have a mold for this, so of course I made a small board. I was hoping the little charms I put in it would be showing more in front, but as you can see, they weren't. So I just used paint to amplify that, but the charms are still in there. But it turned out pretty cool. And yes, I used paint to do the lettering and everything. Another, I'm bored while working, so I'm going to paint while working. Works out great, actually. A lot of it right now is trial and error. And as you can see in everything there, like in this one, you can still see that there is air bubbles. Hence why if I was to sell this, I would probably only do it for about 5 to 10 because of the air bubbles. I gotta get better at not doing the air bubbles, so it's probably going to be more of a 2-pour mix next time, to where I pour the first layer, use it, the torch, let it cure for a while, and then pour the next layer to top it. So that is something that I'll be working on because a lot of this right now is trial and error. Obviously nothing is perfect. It's not even perfectly even. So that I'm going to have to work on too, but that's also why we're going to get a sander so we can do that too. Or just tape sandpaper down and do the whole rubbing the shit out of it. Carving statues of the gods and goddesses, that would be a very interesting and lucrative thing to do. I don't blame you on that one. And that was actually going to bring me to my next thing, is I am going to get stuff to make custom molds. And when I do things like this bitch, I mean, Odin is going to be, I'm going to make a custom mold for him because why not? Imagine having a resin statue of him with a bunch of glitter.
Odin is not glittery.
Okay, then he'll have the fun little luster dust stuff.
Fine.
His wolves may become glittered. But that obviously would be one of those ones that if I do that, it's going to be kind of a layered pour because you're going to have certain colors for the helmet, certain colors for the spear itself, the bird, or the ravens, Hugin and Mugen definitely have to be black. The wolves probably do them in white. But another main thing with it all is trying to make sure everything gets covered in those kind of custom molds. And I will obviously make one with Loki because his horn is, oh god. Yeah, so his horn on my statue got broken again, so I need to glue it again. Yeah, it was the same horn, by the way. We were moving stuff around in the room, and when he was put in the box, something rolled and broke the already super glued patch we had on him. So I guess who needs to fix that again? Other things that can be made with resin is I have molds for these. Everybody knows what these are. So this one, I obviously use different color paints to highlight them. Same with this one. This one is obviously infested with a bunch of glitter. And I did put a star in the middle. And it is very, very blue. And it has some of the luster shine in it. So these, like this one is still a little wobbly, but it's still sturdy enough to where it's a perfect coaster. But this one also has a lot of bubbles. So what I'm planning to do with this one is I'm going to put it kind of in another round type of mold, put another layer on it to seal it, and see if that might fill in some of the holes that need to be filled in. But it will also fill in the top so that instead of it being porous on top and where you can get things caught in or you can change the color, it will kind of seal the paint in so the paint doesn't chip or come away if you wash it. So this is going to be my tester on that one. And yes, this is a mold. I have 4 of them that go along with the set. But you could also use them for wax or whatnot, kind of like what I did with the bitch mold, which I plan to do more with that. But yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, Loki and Soren's side hustle right now is resin stuff. And like cute little things like this, like $1 to $5, just for like cute little things for altars or things to hang up or just have like for little paperweights. What I'm thinking about doing is getting stuff to put on the back to make these into magnets. When it comes to some of the cube things. With these, I'm going to actually use the molds themselves to make a bunch of purple ones for Relay for Life. So that will be something that I do sell these as keychains for raising money for Relay for Life for the cancer research. Because why not? And I know it will be a big hit. The only reason I did these in these 2 colors is because I wanted to see how the green would turn out mistied and the black would turn out mistied. And I like how they turned out. So I'll be doing more of those. I don't think those two will ever be up for sale. They're more practice ones. But the tool I just showed, this is commonly known as something to carve pumpkins with. The entire kit I bought to do carvings with stuff is a pumpkin carving kit. So this actually goes right here. Let me actually pop it back in here. I would have done just a normal video to go over this, but I miss going live. So this is my pumpkin carving kit that I can actually use for edging, detailing, and other things. Obviously, the scoop I haven't found a use for yet. I use this all the time. This is good. These two are going to be good for cutting. This is actually good for popping out smaller details and scraping. What I'm doing on this, I'm having a little bit of fun with it because I kind of screwed up. Is I'm scraping all around this side. When I get the luster duster, I'm going to be fixing the back. But I'm going to, after getting this smoothed out, I'm going to take more resin and pour it around, but do it in a different color round and hopefully fix the wood. So, but that was also just a random, what the fuck can I do with this? These are a little bit more fun. This one is good for smaller details as well. And smaller edges. Savvy, these I've already cut the shit out of myself with twice. These are better to carve into candles. Actually, this whole side is better for candles, or this is better for resin. Because this little tool right here, the wedging, let's see, where is it good? Yeah, so if you were to actually look at my hands close up, you'll see like the cut there, that one, along this hand, there's one there, there's one there's one over here. Yeah, so when you're doing your scraping, if you're doing something, let me just demonstrate. Say if I was taking this and I was doing some carving on this end, don't hold it like this. Don't try to do it like that because you might get your thumb. I'll use you as a perfect example. So like when I was doing some chipping on here, like when you're doing this way, it's going to jump off. And yes, I'm actually been working on this. So if you're holding it a certain way like this, you're going to get yourself. So you always want to do the part furthest away. Do I advise wearing something that you will keep yourself from getting cut? Probably. But am I going to do it? Probably not. Because apparently I have to put a little bit of my own blood in it. No, I'm kidding. If I do get it on there, I wash it off. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we've been doing on our free time is that or playing Genshin Impact because, you know, video games. And I do apologize that if I'm sounding a little far away, I'm using my wireless headset. I just don't remember where I put my normal cable for it. It's somewhere on my desk, and my desk is a bomb blew up on it. And it's called Crystal's been lazy and hasn't cleaned her desk. Apparently it's me. I'm a lazy Crystal. Yay. Which should be like a shocker to no one.
Oh, somebody has to keep you in line.
Yeah. Ah! Yeah, I say my desk is dirty and you throw stuff at me.
Well, you wanted to know how much.
Right, the tire. So the tire blew. We got a big old hole in it. This is why we don't ever take our car to the dump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh yeah, because it has lifetime maintenance on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
That's why I make sure we go to Discount Tire.
Okay. Yeah, procrastinating on doing dishes. I mean, in this household, dishes is a losing battle.
I'm the only one who does damn dishes in this goddamn house.
Soren is a dishwasher, and even after we get everything all done, after I make a meal, I turn around and they're glaring at me because I just made a big mess.
And I have to do laundry.
And they also do laundry, and on some occasions, I have been doing laundry, so I've at least been somewhat helping with that. Just go to your room. Lay down. Don't even. Okay. So $95 for the tire. Certified a certificate of replacement. Okay, so they actually took the old tire. State required tire fee $1. Not bad. Waste tire fee $3. So they threw away the old tire, which is fine. Insurance and maintenance on the tire for the lifetime is only $22, which isn't bad. Yeah, they did not. Oh, the installation was under the $22. Wow. This is why I go to Discount Tire. A new tire for the car only costs us about $150, which isn't bad because that's like the maintenance and all that kind of fun stuff with it. So, yeah. So 90. Yeah. It's not bad, and it's something that we needed anyways. This is what we get for getting a hole in a tire. Hang dry. Yeah. The cone. Come here. Come here, bub. Come here. So I need to show you why his head didn't amplified. Come here, Cerberus. Come on. Come here, Conehead. Come here. Come here. Come to mommy, baby. I'm not going to put a muzzle on you. If you can halfway see, he right now is the cone of shame. Why is he the cone of shame? Because I have to put this in his eye at least twice a day. Guess who can't scratch his eyes? So guess who has the cone of shame? But guess what prompted this? So I was stupid. And I will fully admit that this is partially my fault, but it is my fault. I was doing resin crafts while I was sitting watching TV with him, and I was having the stuff sit on my chair while I was sitting on the beautiful futon behind me, and he got excited because he wanted to play because he's a dog, and so he walked across my path. And when he did so, his tail dipped into some of the resin and he wagged it. So I had to cut the tip of the beautiful, beautiful white foof on his tail is now like cut down like he got buzz cut. But it whipped up his side and got up to his ear. And so I had already given him a bath that day. So he got another bath. Then he got one more after that. So he got 3 baths in one day. But the third bath was more because I noticed he was wincing and not opening one of his eyes very well. Unbeknownst to me, he's been doing that entire day. I just didn't put 2 to 2 together. It took me looking through my pictures that I had of him that day that made me realize, oh, shit. So what happened was I thought he might have got resin in his eye. So Soren and I sit for like 20 minutes rinsing out his eye with water, which is about the only thing you can do. And we kept an eye on it. And then the next day I took him to the vet, made an emergency appointment, and they saw me like the same day. So I took him in and they did a full workup. No, he didn't get any resin in his eye. We did actually pull out a long hair, but he didn't get any resin in his eye. So he was lucky there. But what they did find is he did have a minute infection in his eye. So a small bacterial infection that can be treated, but he has to have the fun little eye cream, but it was in both eyes and only one of them was irritating him more. So it was causing his eyes to be extremely red and itchy. So that's why he was scratching his face a lot. And we didn't put that together. But after he saw his vet and they discovered that, he's on medication, antibiotics to help clear up any infection. And he also is on the eye stuff to make sure it stays cleared up. So he is fine. He's doing well. He actually is very good at when he has to take his medication. I will 100% credit it all to these. He freaking loves these. There's a reason why they're peanut butter flavor, because they're literally peanut butter. They're molded peanut butter. That's all they are. And okay, they do have some chicken in it, but it's mostly just peanut butter. And he knows anytime I pull one of those out, his time for his pill, or if I hold up his medication bag, he's immediately next to me because he knows he gets a treat if he's good and lets me do everything. He lets me put the drops in his eye. He's actually very good about that one. Yes, he doesn't like it, but he knows if he behaves and it whatnot, he gets a treat out of it. So he's not too distraught by it. And the sound effect of him barking with the cone is hilarious. You should hear him try to howl with the cone. That's even better because it's like a really bad acoustics. It's oh god, it's hilarious. But yeah, so word to the wise: if you have pets, don't do resin around them because I'm still cutting out fur of his that I'm finding resin in, but none of it got on his skin at least because of the baths. And Dawn dish soap actually can get it off of skin quickly, and that's something that we've been using if we get it on ours. So with any crafts, I do say woodwork, resin work, metal work, any of that kind of work, clay work, if you can, even candles. Wear gloves, just like the disposable quick gloves. Why? Because one, the shit gets everywhere, and two, there is something called resin poison. But also it gets sticky, and it's easier to have gloves on because it also keeps it from getting your fingerprint stuck on it. But what I'm holding right now is the umbrella mold. So I was just getting leftover dried resin off of it, which I can't get off of the other mold because it's kind of caked on there. So that is going to be another $6 purchase from Amazon to get another one, which I don't mind buying multiples of the same one because that means I can have like 3 or 4 of them going at once, and that's not a bad thing. Another thing is we got to get some of the silicone resin cover cleaner because this did happen. That is resin stuck on there. So this is now going to become a candle mold because I can actually puncture a hole through the 2 sides for the wick to go through and do the layered candles in this one. So that's not going to be a problem. That was originally the mold this came out of. And that's why this entire side right here is sanded down. And I'm still doing work to get this even back out. So yeah, arts and crafts with Loki, the do's and don'ts of resin and the do's and don'ts about doing shit around animals and wearing gloves. Dear fucking God, wear gloves. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, and that's kind of what's keeping me sane and functional and not breaking down. It's not a bug. It's just... You're not wrong, actually. No, that's not dog hair in those rooms. That's good luck charm. That's unicorn fur. So that is one thing I will warn people if I'm making you guys runes or something and there's a hair in it. 9 times out of 10 it's from my cat or the dog. So I do apologize. And that will be disclaimers because my animals like to go everywhere I'm at. And you're right. Moving forward is pretty much the best thing to do. Because yeah, if you haven't been keeping up with my local chaotic news, yeah, it's kind of hard with Ben being gone. But we're managing, and our friend Jess is actually moving in today so that we can at least keep rent easily paid because, I mean, I'm not complaining, but $900 for an apartment, a bitch. And that's, yeah. That's kind of why we're doing the resin art stuff, and trying to sell some of what we're doing because we need to do a bit of a side hustle so that we can afford a little bit more. Because with Soren doing the transcribing job and me doing Spectrum right now, a little extra income here and there is not going to be a bad thing. As much as I love Spectrum, I don't always love my customers. So word to the wise, if you're ever calling in because your cable's not working or there's a problem with your cable or you don't like the bill, I always will tell people, learn to read your freaking bills. Meaning every detail on there. If this says important billing announcement, please fucking read it. It's not like they like to just raise prices because they can, which technically they can. But as of lately, TV is trying to not TV, but streaming apps are trying to kill things. So, like cable companies, which I do understand why. But keep in mind, your cable company are also putting in a lot of wiring for internet. Our landlord just raised the rent from $12K to $14K without warning. In most states, that's illegal. They have to at least give you 30-day notice that the rent is going to be raised. I mean, luckily with our apartment complex, they give us at least about 2-3 months warning that they're going to go up in rates. But no, that is highway robbery. I am so sorry, my man, my dude, my dragon. Yeah, you're my dragon. Because gender is a size, a dragon is a gender. Okay, end of story. Dragon's a gender. At least with people I know. But no, that's in most places that goes against leases, and they're supposed to at least give you 30-day warning, unless it's in the lease that they only have to give you 2 weeks. But no, that is ridiculous. I know they raised ours up a little bit to where instead of paying $600 even, we're each paying $615, which is still not bad. But then again, I'm in a 3-bedroom apartment in Vancouver in a nice little area. So I'm expecting to pay a little bit more. They just posted posters on the doors of the apartment the day the rent was due for that day. Wow. That is fucked up. My man, I would look for my dragon. I would look for a different place if you could. I mean, yeah, granted with mine, I will fully admit that when our friend put in to live here, they pretty much told, and that was just taking over, been part of the lease. They pretty much told, nope, you have to have the X amount of this and X amount of that, even though everything else checks out for her. They're like, nope, we're denying you being added on because of your credit. And I'm sitting here thinking, when I applied for this apartment complex, my credit sucked. But if they took my credit, my roommate Josh's credit, and the other 2 credit into consideration, that's probably why we got in here all together. But yeah, when they went over a 600 credit score in order to rent an apartment, that's kind of scary. That's still not right. They did not give enough notice. I mean, you have your rent check filled out and you're getting ready to turn it in, and they go, oh yeah, by the way, it's now this. And if you don't pay that by this day, you're kicked out, and that's bull. They should have given a lot more notice than that. 1 day notice does not count. But that would be me going, yep, I'm going to take you to court. But not everybody can. And that is understandable. And some people just do what they have to survive. But that also made a lot of people have to find at least $200 more that they didn't originally have. So that is, yeah. That is never a good situation. And that's also how some apartment complexes get people to move out quickly. And that is also very disgusting of them to do. There. The puppies are gone. But yeah, rent, gas prices, haul prices are going up everywhere. And that is not always under our control. And before we were says, oh, it's the government. Just the economy blows. So stop blaming people who may not have any say into it.
The government is to blame.
The government is to blame, yes. But to sit there and say that they're doing it just so they can laugh at us, not necessarily. But at the same time, it's not always just one person in the government's fault. So that's kind of my little soapbox. So saying they're only blaming one person when you should blame the entirety of the government instead of just one part. Yeah. But that's just how I feel. And before anyone asks, yes, I watched here and there of the Johnny Depp trial.
Don't touch that.
But I'm not going to touch that with the 10-foot pole. Because let's just say my favorite song right now from that is, making fun of her lawyer. But that is just me right now. Objection, hearsay. But yeah, I'm not getting into that with a 10-foot pole because we already know the outcome. And to say I watched every single Pirates of the Caribbean movie again just because I could, I did. But that's just because I'm a dork. Oh, excuse me. I'm glad you know what song I'm talking about. But yeah, it's been an interesting year so far. And I thought I was recovering from last year of interest. But another reason why I have this one-eyed beauty in front of me is because obviously this one was Ben's. So we're going to be making a wall altar for him. And okay, we're buying a wall altar for him. And when we do get the small thing of her ashes, it's actually going to be going on the altar for him as well. But I also need other ideas of what we can put up there with him. It's going to be a double triangle type thing. One triangle pointing up, one pointing down, and the center is kind of like a little open slant area. But suggestions for what should go on his altar would be well given. Because as most of you know, I mostly use Loki. I don't use Odin. Or very rare do I ever. I probably should because he is a wise, smart old man. Yes, I said it, old. As you can see on here, he has already the Raven, Hugin Munin, and he has his wolves. He has Gutnir in his hand. Cute little eye patch. So yeah, it's just one of those typical Odin statues that you find. That is the same brand that the Loki and Hades statue and the Dana statue that I have are. But the wall altar is actually going to be going over up by Soren's desk. So we still have their mom's altar up there. I still kind of have the little shelf over here that has Kazi on him, which I'm going to work on doing more with that later. But any ideas of what to do with him? Yes, I'm going to make a set of runes specifically for it that will stay on that altar, that won't be sold. But another thing that we are doing is I'm actually opening up for ideas and colors and different type of designs into the rooms. So keep in mind right now I only have the not square, rectangle-ish molds for the runes. But there are other things I can do with them, at least with coloration, luster dust, and stuff like that. So any ideas would be welcomed. Because like I said, every set is going to be unique. Not one of them is going to look the same. Because honestly, if I did another set of the luster dust, they won't look the same as these ones. If I did another set of the clouded ones, they won't look exactly the same. Same with the mint green, maybe. But I'm looking for more ideas and more input from the community at large and from my fans at large. Well, wait, not my fans, but my friends. Yeah, that's what you guys are. You're not just random fanboys or fangirls or fan dragons or fan leons. You're people. your friends, your people I talk to. I talk to you in the Discord. When I respond, I do apologize. I talk to you on here. Um, I will be hopefully doing a live stream in about a couple of weeks where I just have people on. We just bullshit and talk and go over some pagan stuff and maybe do some card readings and whatnot. I did. Where did I put them? So when I did come home, I did have my rune cards with me, and I just don't remember where I set them. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleaning again because they were right here with me. Oh, well, shit. They're probably my laptop bag still, but yes, they are. Yeah, don't be stupid. I still want to do readings for everyone. I still want to do stuff like that. I still need to read this. That's the key for my phone, and that is art books. So, really, my dad, I did get a few things back. I got some of my art books back. I got a laptop bag. So, the trip to Colorado was pretty good. It was nice to see friends. It was nice to see family. I got to hang out at my aunt's house, and trust me, I got to watch my brother climb a tree that he probably shouldn't have to try to get a dollar store kite out of a tree. And then he was yelled at to get the hell out of the tree because my MOs didn't want to deal with taking him to the hospital. None of us did. And we didn't want to explain to his wife what the fuck he did. So, and even when my dad's like, yeah, no, we don't want to tell Liz what he did because if we do, she's going to get mad that we didn't stop him. But then again, she probably would have been sitting there going, if he falls, I'm going to make himself drive himself to the hospital. I don't care. That's why I'm glad he married her. But yeah. Granted, it was for a bittersweet reason, and a bunch of other shit was going down here when we were there. But it was nice to see everyone. It was nice to actually meet my cousin Caitlin, meet my cousin Bradley's kids, and oh my god, they're adorable. And he grew up. Oh my god. So when you're remembering seeing somebody who was like this tall and whatnot, and being a dork and playing Power Rangers with you and climbing a tree and getting yelled at for climbing that tree or doing something really stupid, and now you're looking at him going, we're still going to do stupid shit, aren't we? But this time we're adults and we're allowed to do it. And then you have his mom going, no, you're still not allowed to do it, but you're going to do it, aren't you? And then watching my brother get on a trampoline with my cousin's kids and just act like a complete other dork was probably the highlight of everything. Yes, my darling. Oh, yeah, and they got to see where I grew up.
Yep. But I also have chores for us today.
And apparently I have to go do stuff today.
You don't have to do it right now.
Well, not yet.
Soon.
Will you put this back with the paperwork? Thank you, my dear. I love you. Help me. Apparently slave labor in a marriage is normal because that's what one spouse is for. Or that's what they lead you to say. Don't actually believe that. Don't take my word for it. Please. That's just a disclaimer of me trying to be funny, and obviously today I'm not that funny. But no, it was good going back there. Soren got to see both every place in him and I was, and then every place in Nucla Natarita I was, and then yeah. Eventually I'll post pictures about it on my Discord after I get them all uploaded correctly and put into save files, because I have some of them on my Mac and some of them on this computer. I just want to make sure that I have them all saved. It's just my tendency. I do now have a better laptop bag. My dad gave me it. But yeah, so it's been a roller coaster. And now, anytime I hear the song Apple Bottom Jeans, all I can think of is Coyote Stark from Bleach, though. And yes, the dog is rolling around with the damn cone on the back of his head. And fitting this jumped out. But yeah, when I can say that anxiety has been all over the place, it's not a lie. Because I know everybody has been having a hard time these past few years. And the whole thing of is, yes, we were expecting the roaring 20s, not the Great Depression 20s, is a common phrase right now. And I do know that, yes, start of this pandemic got me the courage to find a better job, and I did. But I'm also looking beyond that job to see if there's anything better out there for me. Because as much as I do love working for Spectrum, I don't love the customers. Especially when somebody comes in hot and you go on the defensive and then you get lectured about going on the defensive. Yeah, so please do me a favor. If you don't like something, please don't scream at the other person on the phone, because 9 times out of 10, they can't do anything for you if you're screaming, or even if you're not. Be understanding and be kind to others. Treat them like you should be treated. And that's just like my soapbox. Because you don't know what they're going through as much as they don't know what you're going through. Another little suggestion I've had from people is just do what you can in life. Don't let anyone else discourage you. Don't give up on even things like a silly little side hobby just because somebody says, oh no, you're not going to make anything off that. Oh no, you're not going to get anything good off that. Fuck them. Keep trying. I mean, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. It's like, if I make something, I make something. If I don't, I don't. I mean, the other thing we can do, make these into like little necklace charms. Because, I do wear one. But it's try again. Failing is just messing up the first time. Succeeding is not messing up. But even so, it doesn't mean you should just give up. Exactly. You're completely right there, my dear dragon. If something makes you happy and isn't hurting anyone, then do it. And as far as I know, doing stuff like this isn't hurting anyone. And now I'm curious about seeing something. That's kind of cool, but don't ask. I'm just, okay, that's trippy. So this may become a filter on something. But no, just don't give up on things. You gotta go outside. If you gotta go outside, go to the door. Okay, satellite, up. Come on, jump up. Yep, satellite. Do you need me to open the back door? Okay, I gotta go open my back door real quick. Okay, come on. Go. Get your bone. Okay, so you don't have to go potty? We're gonna have to carpet clean here again. Sorry about that. Dog apparently wanted to go outside, but then didn't want to go. Yeah. He's also not allowed out in the sunlight very much because of the medication for his eyes kind of does irritate it. But yeah, so one of the things I will highlight about we did stop in, I believe it was Bakerfield or Baker. Yeah, we did stop at the Alien Fresh Jerky Mart. And I have a spoon. Yeah, so we stopped there. We got a few things, quite a few stickers. We also have our garden going, so eventually I will be posting pictures of that as well on Discord. Soren has some good pictures of it. We have a garden downstairs that's doing really good. And we have some stuff growing back here in our pots that are doing decent with the rain. Yeah, we have been having a lot of rain. So alien Fred jerky spoon is an alien holding a saucer over his head. Yeah, and we also got to see the world's biggest thermometer. It's now a digital thermometer when it used to not be a digital thermometer, but it is pretty cool. But, you know, they had to take all that mercury and put it somewhere. But yeah, Soren got to see a lot of places in Hemet, got to see a lot of places in New Gloucester, Colorado, and now where we're going to be going with that. So, and Dad's been doing okay-ish. Yeah, but one of the main things is I want people to know, yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm planning to do a lot of things. The weather has been hot, cold, dry, and wet, and every other week. Yeah, with us, it's pretty much been, hey, look, it's rainy. Hey, look, you get a little bit of sun for a couple of days. Hey, look, we're doing another downpour when you decide you want to do things outside. Yeah. So our outside garden downstairs has pretty much been being watered by the rain. Because every time we like, oh, yeah, we need to go do this with it, it downpours. And even on the hot days, it's like, yeah, we can go water it. We go out there and it starts raining. Or the soil is already still too wet from the time before. We don't want to drown our plants. But the flowers are coming up great. The raspberry bushes are growing pretty well as well. So we're just looking forward to when the sunflowers start actually blooming. So getting up tall and start budding. So yeah, we are enjoying the springtime at this moment of Washington State, which is rain, and more rain, which necessarily isn't a bad thing. It is pretty typical up here for that to happen. Ow. I know that in a lot of places, I mean, like for some reason, the parts of Colorado decided it'd be a great idea to snow this week, which that's just weird. But at the same time, we've had snow in July, so I'm not too shocked about Mother Nature being weird. So on this episode of What Mother Nature is Not Drinking, apparently it isn't the Kool-Aid of conformity. It is the Kool-Aid of I do what I want, bitch. So always keep that in mind. Mother Nature is Mother Nature, and she's going to do what she's going to do. And what have we all learned about women? We're going to do what we're going to do and be damned the consequences later. But for her, there's not very much consequences for her actions, where there is for me or you or for everyone else involved. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster, and I'm pretty sure that roller coaster ride has yet to end for anyone. And it may not in the near future. So all we can do is, like they said in the X-Files, just keep swimming. And like Dory says, just keep swimming. Okay, that's what that one wrote. But yeah, it's we're far from out of the woods yet when it comes to a lot of things. So always keep that in mind. Always keep everybody in mind when you think of things, and the whole thoughts and prayers bullshit. Yeah, no. That doesn't stop certain things. And we're also not going into other things that are going around in the US, because that's a whole nother can of worms that I don't want to open either. Just, it's horrible, and we need better everything. And that doesn't only go for the US. That goes for the world. But the world is always going to be a cruel and unforgiving place because we made it that way. And my one message to everyone is just be kind to everyone, because you don't know what kind of day they're having. You don't know what kind of life they've had. Don't add to that despair. Even if there's somebody you dislike, don't be a dick. If they need a shoulder to talk to and you feel that you can stomach it, talk to them for a little bit. If you know that they're going through some trouble, I hate saying this, but be a somewhat bigger person and let them know that they're not alone in the world. But if somebody you really can't stand, like my best friend's ex, just smile and nod, because they're going to say what they're going to say. You're right. Everybody does need a little bit of faith that they can do better and a little bit of encouragement, because people can. One of my best friends is going through a divorce. Don't get me wrong. We saw it coming years ago before they even got married. But as much as I just like the guy, I know he's a gaslighting POS. I wish him the best, and same with her. She wishes him the best, but she just doesn't want him in her life and doesn't appreciate those text messages of, oh, don't worry. You'll realize your mistake and come back. So now that's partially an ongoing joke. She's much happier. I can say that much. And that's why we're getting Jess as a roommate. Which she'll probably be starting to move in here a little bit later. So I will have to go here in a few minutes. But yeah, just try to be kind to each other. You don't know who's going through what. So just be kind. Have a little bit of hope in humanity, even if it's just the tiniest shred. And just try not to be a dick to anyone. I mean, the less enemies you have, the better, because when world domination happens, the less people are trying to kill you. I'm kidding. But no, it's just be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself mostly. Because if you're not kind to yourself, who's going to be kind? So everybody needs to also take care of themselves. And it was good to see you, even if it's a message, and I do miss you all. And I will try to get things going back. Like I said, there's no guarantees, but I am going to push myself to do a little bit more because I need to. And I do miss doing this stuff because I hate to say it's kind of like a good little journal, I guess. Especially with the live where I can't delete it and retake something. So yeah. Now you understand why a lot of my videos, I take like 4 or 5 different videos of it and then I restart over and over again because I don't like it. But I will hopefully see a lot more of you guys on Discord or anywhere else. And I will try my best to be more active. It's just, getting over depression and stuff like that isn't the easiest. But I believe with time and patience, anything is possible. And according to one person, with enough time, enough patience, and lube, oh, Cortana, shut up. Oh, anything is possible. Yeah, Cortana popped up on my hand. Whenever I said lube, it popped open. Oh, fucking technology. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later, and blessed be. Oh yeah, by the way, thank you for joining me, and I do hope that you have a great rest of your day. Blessed be. Oh, and one more thing. Yeah, I know. Have a happy, safe holiday for everybody here in the U.S. With Memorial Day. Try not to do anything too stupid. Just kick back, relax, think of those who the day is for, and yeah, just know that a lot of people are getting a paid holiday. Other people have to work. So just be kind and have a good one. Okay. Be safe. Blessed be.